Over time, I've learned a lot about climate change and how it affects the planet we know and love. There are many different factors we can understand how we affect the environment we live in. I'll explain what I know about climate change and what I do to try to help. Many factors affect climate change, such as fossil fuels, deforestation, and melting ice caps and glaciers. I want to explain how these factors affect climate change daily and what I do to try and make a difference. During primary and secondary school, we learn lots of information about fossil fuels and how they affect the climate. In school, we understand that fossil fuels are emissions of gas and other chemicals into our environment that impacts climate change. We learn about greenhouse gases caused by big companies that are detrimental to climate change. These big companies release lots of emissions daily that severely affect the damage of our atmosphere. While activists fight for these emissions to stop almost daily, we learn we can only frankly do our part to stop it. Not only are greenhouse gases detrimental, but so is regular pollution that we use daily as humans. We emit pollution into the atmosphere when we fly or drive on the bus or cars, and when we emit pollution when we are grilling things outside. To minimize the amounts of pollution, we can do things like carpool with our friends or ride the bus instead of driving separately and multiplying the number of emissions in a day. Some states in the U.S. have carpool lanes to incentivize people to ride together to promote less pollution. In other states, they've made bike lanes and other forms of travel easier to access so that if you want to make a difference, you may choose a route with little pollution. While this does seem like it's helping our environment much to drive together or limit the time traveling altogether when other polluters are involved, we can say we did our part. Another thing that significantly impacts climate change is deforestation. Through school, we learn a lot about deforestation and how it throws off the balance of our environment. Deforestation is caused by the removal of trees for new homes or by wildfires and other factors. Deforestation is detrimental to climate change because trees help our atmosphere with a variety of things and keep the world balanced. With massive wildfires taking out forests and trees being cut down to build new properties, we lose valuable gases released from these trees. While there's not much we can do when it comes to a wildfire, we can still decide to plant trees to regain the nature of our atmosphere. We see this many times throughout the years in efforts to plant trees. Tree planting companies ask for a $1 donation or something similar to try to regain the valuable gases released. One simple share or contribution can aid in planting an entire tree farm. The final thing that seriously impacts climate change is ice caps and glaciers melting. While this is something of nature, it affects our environment severely. As earlier stated, pollution emits lots of gases into the air, causing a multitude of factors to occur. One of the core factors is a warming of the earth. This warming of the earth causes ice caps and glaciers to melt at an alarming rate, causing the sea level to rise to an unhealthy level and causing massive water erosion. Not only do these ice caps melting cause a problem with the sea level rising, ice caps melting also affects us when massive storms like hurricanes come, as the storm surge will be higher due to this melting. While there's not much we can do to stop the melting of glaciers and ice caps, we can still work to prevent and lower the amount of pollution. I hope I was able to help you understand what I know about climate change and the factors affecting it. While helping end climate change can seem like a lost cause, it is imperative that we all do our part in keeping our environment livable. We can do this by limiting our emissions of gases, walking or biking, or other things, like not driving for a day to eliminate a few emissions. We can also heal our environment and allow it to get the proper gases it needs by donating to a tree farm or planting a tree ourselves. While it may seem possible to make a difference in climate change, if we all step up to improve our environment, we can all make a difference.